Hello, good morning. It's High Priestess Jamila. How are y'all this morning? I wanted to come and talk a little bit to y'all about some things. Mm-hmm. Wanted to come and talk to y'all about some things. Looking over I was actually looking back at some of my videos. In particular, my Gabriel Fernandez videos, and then my Michael Jackson videos, and just oh man, I've just been going down memory lane. And oh, that Michael Jackson video was probably the medium, the channeling that I did for Michael Jackson is probably one of the most difficult, which is why I don't channel spirits like that anymore, in a sense to where I'm like channeling them through my body. I and sometimes you just can't help it. Sometimes you just can't help it. Oh my goodness gracious. Social media is, as an authentic psychic medium, I can tell you that social media is very overwhelming. Very overwhelming. Which is why I have been getting so much support from my matron goddess. As a pagan, we are typically very polytheistic. So we don't have one deity. That's something that is related to monotheism. And if you guys watched me back when I had my old channel, I actually went through the beginning of my spiritual evolution. Not everybody has, but I actually went through the beginning of my spiritual evolution back then, and I actually spoke about how I believe in there being many gods and stuff. I do. I believe that there are a lot of different gods, there are a lot of different deities. No, I don't believe in monotheism. No, I don't. Does that mean that can we compare that to are we really gonna compare being a polytheist to sexual behavior? No. I think that if anybody refers believing in many gods to being some kind of sexual thing, I think that it's time for some more spiritual evolution. Okay. And I've actually been told that, oh, you're not loyal or you're a whore, because I believe in more than one God. I just think that those people just want to call me a hoe because they jealous. But anyway, so I want to talk about being a psychic medium and how difficult it is, especially if you have one that is a child. Growing up as a psychic medium and being surrounded by people that don't understand you is really difficult. Now, I'm not saying that that's what happened to me, because it's not. I had my aunt and she was there a lot. She raised me until I was 5. My mother understood me. You know what I mean? She understood me a lot. But it can be difficult because people that are psychic mediums, they start displaying signs of having the gift at a very young age. And so it can be sometimes very traumatic. It can sometimes be very scary for the parents. It just depends. You know how, like, that, yeah, y'all know that saying where it's like kids, they see things that we don't see. So that's not uncommon, but it is kind of a big difference between that and having the gift of communicating with the dead. Okay. And it's often misunderstood a lot. And I think that in particular in social media, uh, like I explained months ago, I wouldn't be here but maybe once a month, which I think people would go crazy. I do, because I think it's an extreme obsessive love that some of these folk got for me, that I honestly shouldn't be here, but maybe like once a month. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe just upload like maybe 2 or 3 times per month, especially on YouTube, because it is overwhelmingly frustrating with so many people poking around the spiritual community, and they just really have no freaking idea what psychic mediums go through or what we have been through. And they have absolutely no empathy. They, the crazy part about it is that a lot of them claim to be spiritually evolved and they're not. I still have to watch myself. I find myself, if I ever feel off, I find myself checking the news to see if anything has happened close by in my area or even like in other areas. Typically, when I feel, if I feel kind of icky, I'll throw my cards and I'll see somebody trying to psychically attack me most of the time. The one thing about being a medium is that I always hated, and I remember this going back to my childhood, was like I hated feeling how people felt when they died. The feeling of dying, what they went through when they died, after they died, even if it was a violent death. It was very, very difficult for me, and it still is. Like, and I've asked my spirits to not let me go through that. I said I cannot do this anymore. This was like probably like oh, it was about a year ago, I think. Yeah, it was last year was the last time I felt some type of way. And it was this lady that was missing, and she's still missing. That, there's no hope of her coming back home, but I could actually see her underwater and being weighed down underwater in like a lake, a big lake with cinder blocks. And I think I took the video down because people on YouTube, some of these other readers on YouTube, they act like they're fighting over dead bodies, which is very weird. And at the time, I was already going through enough. I was like, look, I'm not even going, like, I ain't even gonna go through it. I probably still have the video saved somewhere. I'll probably re-upload it. But I just went ahead and took it down because I feel like some of these people, they do I think they're authentic? No, not really. Because if they were, they wouldn't give a damn about what I do. Okay, you can get spiritual gifts from demons and entities. You can make deals with them to get spiritual gifts. I was born this way. So I'm very appreciative and supportive to all of the psychic mediums that are on this website. And whether or not you get your gifts from a demon or if you made a deal to get them, that's fine. Just don't harass me. So that's why I took the video down. Um, because even if people are not spiritually gifted, I can see people, and it's disturbing sometimes. It gets very disturbing, the types of stuff that you see on here, the type of stuff that you can experience. So, like, since then, I have not allowed myself to connect with a spirit, and sometimes these spirits will just come to psychic mediums. And it's almost like it's not that you're experiencing what they're experiencing, but it's like a feeling of that, just that death energy around them. Because I know that we want to believe that when you die, you just float up to heaven, or either you get snatched down to hell, but that's actually not what happens. Probably at least over half of the time, that's not what happens. And so sometimes when those spirits are near you, you can feel what they went through. That's just like when I did the Gabby reading. And you have to control it. Like, I have learned to control it. When you learn how to control your psychic medium gifts, you should also know how to deal with psychic attacks and bad psychic energy. That's something that's really important. I think that psychic mediums need to be well taken care of and protected, because they are very important, because these are people that have the ability to speak to the other side. Instead, what's happening is that they're being tossed about and attacked and berated and abused, which is totally ridiculous. Like, I mean, I can understand why a psychic medium wouldn't be appreciated, because there's so many people that want to be. They want to be. They do. And they are not very good people, because as a psychic medium, I show respect for my fellow psychics, because I know what they deal with, and I'm authentic. I've been dealing with it since I was 2. Was when my gifts were first discovered. Um and yeah, like it's documented. I wish I could have my aunt as a guest on my show, but she ain't gonna do it. you know. So it's difficult. It's difficult. And a lot of us real ones get attacked and abused by the fake ones. And I feel that it's fake when you are borrowing your gifts with the sole purpose of making money. It's not a part of your soul mission. It's not really a part of your life mission. And I think that that's a number one sign that you are a fraud, because you can still be a fraud and have authentic gifts. There have been many, many, many people that have went and, like I said, manufactured these gifts for themselves with the sole purpose of whatever purpose it is. That's their business. But I think that it gets a bit redundant when it's constant harassment and attacks on people in social media. It is very difficult. It's because for some reason I started to think about Gabriel Fernandez and the reading that I did for him. And it was really interesting. It really was. It was really interesting looking back at that. That was 3 years ago. And how I had this little 8-year-old boy like running around my house, like literally his spirit. And I did help his spirit a lot to heal. Um, and it was pretty amazing the way he still visits me, and I'll just give him offerings and stuff. You know what I mean? Uh, I feel like he is an angel. And that's actually how it was through Gabriel Fernandez, is how I connected with Santa Marta. That's actually how I well, I don't want to say connected, I got reacquainted with her during that time. And I've kept a relationship with her since then. Um so people need to, again, I think that there's a lot of people that come from a religious mindset and all they know how to do is judge. But it's actually very poor judgment. If you know anything about psychic mediums, you wouldn't be saying the stuff that you're saying. And I think that those people see them and they will attack them. Sometimes people may be watching you and they'll see you posting things that are inaccurate and they will attack you. Instead of those people seeing that, because they don't see anything, but instead of those people seeing that, all they see is who they are focused on in social media. Social media is poison to psychic mediums and to psychics. It is absolute poison to us because it's too much. It's too much, and it's too much religious stuff. You know what I'm saying? I had this one lady, tell me, "Oh, you're working with all these deities." Uh-huh. Yeah, I am, and I'm going to continue to work with as many as I want. That's exactly. Yes, I'm not a monotheist. I'm not a Christian. Yeah. Yeah, we don't have to we don't have to limit ourselves. Yeah. Isis is star to Diana, Hecate to me to Kali, Anana. Yep, exactly. And it's just a lot of that going on. And here's what I can't understand is why do people that don't understand at all people's spiritual beliefs, that all they know is the Bible, why do they watch us? It's obvious that that's what you are. You are somebody that has been heavily programmed by religion, but yet you have an interest in psychic mediums. But for some reason, either it scares you or I don't understand it. And I don't understand why it's so rampant in the black communities on YouTube. I don't get it. I don't get it, you know? The crazy part about it is that religious people will literally push you into the arms of the devil, of Satan. And Satan will say, "Oh, here you are, my child." And they, they will literally push you in, they will push you there because you're going there and you're looking for some kind of relief. You're looking for some kind of shelter because there's nobody monitoring the behaviors of these people. It isn't, it's just anything goes. And they sometimes have the same gifts that we have, which leads to psychic attacks. But a psychic attack can only be experienced by somebody who is psychic, because you can see that for some reason, like either that person is making sure that you see them or sense them, because they have a problem with something that you did or said. Why are you watching something that you don't understand? And it's not just that you understand it, but you have a deep seated hatred Why do you watch? Why do you pay attention to us? It makes no sense to me. With a seething hatred, it makes no sense. I've got control over my gifts as far as like nobody can use me as the messenger. And I feel that every medium, if you're authentic, you should practice that. You should. You know, if, for example, if somebody that is knowledgeable on working with spirits and necromancy, and I'm talking about the real deal, I'm not talking about something fake and made up. Somebody said, hey, go and say something to somebody because I want to make it look like I'm doing something. Well, that's not authentic. That's not real necromancy. That's you asking that person to say something. But what I'm talking about is when you are literally a messenger for somebody else. And this is when somebody may throw a bad spirit at somebody, and then your body or your tongue, your throat, may be getting used to attack that person. That's what I'm talking about. So I think that mediums have to uh understand themselves and not end up being an empty cedar for somebody else's spell work. I refuse to be that. That's one of the reasons why I don't come on here just blurting out things, just without being provoked. Okay. And a lot of them, what they're doing is they are, and this has actually happened to me, they will drop photographs of me in their chat. They'll be wrenched up with photographs of me in their chat rooms, but then they will block out the chat replay. And they're doing that purposely because that's supposed to make it look like somebody is just blurting out or that they're out of control and they don't have control over their gifts. Like, no, if I see that you're live and I can see that you are harassing me, which is using my photograph, I might say something or maybe I won't, you know, and these people, they're like constantly harassing people. And I think that at the end of the day, I think that there is going to be some kind of negative karma for that because you don't realize what it is and who it is that you're messing with. You are messing with somebody that is dealing with so much, and it is not up to you to judge why God made this person that way. And it's not up to you to play around with them. There's a lot of people that think it's funny, they think it's a game. They do. They think it's a game. They think it's a funny game. Oh, ha ha, he. Let me mess with this person. You're not supposed to be meddling and picking at and playing around with people that have those gifts. Our angels, demons, deities, they hate you for doing that because you are harassing people. That's just like last night I was working with one of my clients on some stuff that I was helping the client with. I'm not going to say whether or not it's male or female, but I was helping my client and, people were, not people. No, this was actually Saturday night. I had just went through so much and just needed to rest and relax. And then somebody decided that they were going to go live and they just decide, oh, let me go live and let me harass this person, and it's totally ridiculous. Like, grow up. There's so many people that okay, let's say that you want to get into spirituality but it doesn't work out for you, right? One way or the other, maybe you'll go back to it. Maybe you'll go back to it like what I did when I was in my 20s. I started practicing the craft, and then I left and came back 10 years later to it and have been stuck to it ever since and ain't going nowhere. Maybe that's what's happening. Did I ever stop to think, hey, let me go and harass people? Not ever. That makes no sense. And it doesn't matter if the person is black, white, whether or not they sucked a toe, whether or not they like to have sex, or it doesn't matter. You need to learn basic respect. Quit being disrespectful. You don't know what it is that we go through. And then also being a witch, right? A lot of us witches are factually psychic mediums. We are. And it's so disrespectful and disgusting for people to constantly just go on and on and on and on and on and on and on. Stop being selfish. This is not about your hurt feelings. It's not. Or you want a friendship with that person, or you just want to harass and bully that person. This is not about you. This is bigger than you. When are you going to learn that? And then when spirit does something to get these people to teach them a lesson, they don't even learn the lesson. They continue with the behavior and then will blame it on the witch or the psychic medium. Oh, this is your fault. Oh, let's harass you about this. I don't think anything good is going to come out of that. That's on you if you want to do that. I'm just saying. And it doesn't matter if you think that black women are crud and crap, you have no respect for black people. Oh, these black people are just running around here in social media making a fool of themselves. Well, I guess we could say that about any race of person. It's a lot of crazy crap going on. So I found that because of the color of my skin, because I am a black woman, that people think, oh, let me pick at her. Let me pick at her constantly. And then when the red demon comes up out the sea and attacks you, then you want to play victim. Show some respect. And it's totally ridiculous. This is not about social media or being social. This is not about social media or being social. To some people, that's what it's about. Oh, I want to be social. I want friends. I want somebody to talk to. Listen, this is bigger than that. This is more than what meets the eye. So I just think it's sad. I think that people and then here's the one thing. I don't care what religion you are or what you think you know about spirituality. You cannot tell me nothing. You can't advise anybody and you can't tell anybody anything as long as you joined a group of people that were stalking one person. You don't know anything. Far as I'm concerned, your credibility is shot. Anytime you are that weak minded that you would actually join a group of people in harassing and stalking somebody, you don't even have the basic mindset to tell nobody anything. You need therapy yourself. You need some kind of help yourself. Because the last time I checked, that person, they haven't joined any groups against you. That's ridiculous. And I can honestly say that because I literally have a I hate we wait a minute, not I. We hate Jamila cult. Like this is a fact based upon jealousy that's been going 10 years and strong. Almost 10 years. It'll be 10 years in 2024. And I think it's ridiculous. You are not smart. You're not spiritually equipped to give anybody advice as long as you have joined up with a cult. A we hate Jamila cult. No, 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 no. I'm sorry. Excuse me. Did you make your appointment with your therapist yet? Because that's utterly ridiculous to me. Okay. So I am going to be getting some breaks in social media oh my god, very soon, and I deserve it. I deserve it to where, and we already know that during the break, people are going to act a fool. There's going to be a couple of people that are probably going to lose their channel because they're going to constantly get copyright infringements from me. Because if you are using my photograph, I did file a copyright claim against your channel. I'm going to be hitting people's channels with that because that's utterly ridiculous for you to be doing that. If you only knew and you don't know, you can claim that you have these spiritual gifts, but you actually don't. You're full of it. You're full of it, right? You're full of it if you claim that you have spiritual gifts and you are promoting harassment of anybody, especially somebody that is a reader. You should have professional courtesy for people. Seriously. And so, um, it can be a very difficult thing. Yes, I am going to talk about it until it stops. Yes, I am. I'm going to mention it until it stops. I'm never going to accept it. And, I'm going to be like literally pulling back a whole lot because I feel that there is a level of control that is wanted here on this platform by certain people. And what they want to do is they want to try to control the narrative of a complete stranger that they don't know. And that's BS. So when I come on here and I speak specifically about spiritual stuff, it's all good. But then when I mention the We Hate Jamila cult club that was created by a complete fraud, everybody has a problem with me. So until that cycle is broken, I'm going to continue to mention it because it's ridiculous. And I'm calling out the community to say, well, do you know the difference between real and fake? Yeah, because I shouldn't have to answer, and I don't answer to anybody. I don't have to answer to anybody under this platform, on this website. I have never been anybody's understudy, anybody's student, anybody's apprentice. And even if I were, like for example, with my apprentices, they don't have to answer to me. They can do whatever they want. They can grow, they can even get bigger than me. So, I'm not stuck on that. For me, it's about my spiritual path. For me, it's about helping the people that I'm supposed to help. It's not about grandstanding and having fans. Who do I look like? Sylvia Brown? I don't need fans. Okay, this is what I do for a living, which is my business, which is my path in life. Period. Okay. So, and I just think that it sucks. I think that whoever is facilitating that or promoting harassment needs to be called out. Yeah, they need to be called out because and I don't agree with people treating people like they God anyway. Don't ever treat me like I'm God because I am not. I am God of self. Yes, I am very close to God. Yes, I am very close to the spirit realm. Yes. To the point where sometimes I be running around here looking dead. Am I God? Do I want you to worship me? No, I don't. Please don't ever do that. It would make me feel uncomfortable. So, I just think it's ridiculous. And I think that if more people were authentically mediums, actual mediums, they would be like, oh my God, as a medium, I would never do that to another person ever. I wouldn't even promote that. Now, do you have to be a medium to be a witch? Nope. Do you have to be a psychic to be a witch? Nope. But being a witch, especially doing work for people, it's a lot to that. You say that you're a witch and you're doing work for people, but yet you're harassing and you're worried about another witch. Make this make sense to me. So it's a lot of stuff going on to where I'm not their leader. I'm not. Their leader is misleading them. Okay. I'm not your leader. Because if I were, you would show some respect. Okay. Seriously. So I can't wait until I get a much needed break. Oh my God. I cannot freaking wait. I need one. And I'm going to take a super duper long extended break, it's, and particularly from YouTube. Some of these people out here are completely delusional. They want to pretend as though they own the entire spiritual community. And it's like, really? I'm already looking at you side eyed, you know. So I'll be able to sit back and relax and watch like some of my favorite channels. I found a couple of very high quality spiritual channels. Um I'm not going to say their names though because they're both like three of them are black women and I don't want them to get stalked. Seriously. They have amazing channels where they tell these spooky stories and stuff. And, some of them talk about the history of witchcraft, and, just a lot of really interesting stuff because um, yesterday evening, I was looking for something interesting to watch on YouTube. I just wanted to kind of listen to it in the background. Well, of course, Jasmine Ambrosia has an amazing channel to just listen to. She has an amazing energy. Um, but it's like I like to have a little variety. So and I was looking for these channels, and sometimes I randomly stumble upon. I'll make sure that I subscribe next time. They have some really really nice content. That's what I'm interested in. I don't want to hear about the fear of religion. As a witch, I do not fear. I do not fear. I come up with solutions. I fix the problem. If I can't fix the problem myself, then I go to my spirits and I go to my deities. I go to my spirit team. Hello? I don't sit up here and y'all know I don't sell fear over here. I don't sell fear. To where it's just like, oh, and that's not a part. That fear and harassment and stalking and attacking other people is definitely not a part of my marketing strategy. To some people it's marketing. When I was on here earlier talking about Bible curses, I'm not trying to make you fear. I'm telling you not to fear them. I'm telling you not to fear, is what I'm telling you. Okay. So, I just don't do those things. I just don't. I know that I'm very different, I guess. I don't think I'm any different, but I guess I am very different than some of the people that I had gotten acquainted with or not even acquainted with. I'm just very different from those people. And I've never claimed that I was anything like anybody else. As a medium, we go through a lot. And then also, I'm an empath. So if somebody's hurting, I'm going to feel it. I'm going to feel it. Like sometimes, if it's some stuff going on nearby, I'm going to sense it. Sometimes, if my children are going through something, I'm going to feel it. And I think it sucks. It is in very poor taste for people to continue harassment instead of going and getting their spiritual stuff resolved. Okay. And, I post things to my community wall. Sometimes that may be a little Eh. But I like to try to post things that are either funny or either like spiritual information. I don't like I like for me, do I feel like I'm always at war? No, I don't. The things that I do makes me not constantly be at war. In fact, if I got work to do, I just do the work. I don't fret over it. I don't complain about it. I just do it. If I ask my spirit guides a question and I don't get the answer that I need, I'll say, well, what do I need to do? And that's just it. I don't handle things the same way that people do. Okay. And I think that my way is the best way. Okay. Now, I will tell you that because there's some people but then again, there's some people that are totally obsessed with people online that are complete strangers. They don't know them, or, and then you got the people that will join a We Hate Jamila freaking cult, which is, that ain't my problem. That's on you. Hey, listen, that is not my problem. I don't like the personality types of cult leaders. I am not one. No, I am not. If somebody were to say that to me, they would be lying. And I've been accused of being a narcissist. I'd say there are times when I have appeared to be narcissistic, but no, I mean, sometimes when you're going through stuff in social media, it can make you a little narcissistic. Mm-hmm. At some point, it's sometimes when you talking, it can sound like that, like, wow, y'all really into me, like, wow, like, don't love me like you do. So anyway, I just wanted to say that, like, my heart goes out to a lot of the mediums who come on here and get bullied by frauds and scam artists. Because a medium, that's what they do. They communicate with the dead. A lot of the times, that's what they do. They don't even necessarily offer spell work. They just communicate with your departed loved ones. That's what they do. Okay. And, they're not feeling the need to do all of that extra stuff that some of these people are doing, which is extremely, extremely embarrassing, if you ask me. Extremely. But it is what it is. People are going through what they're going through. I was attempted to speak on the Hassan Campbell situation, but I'm not going to do it. It would be interesting. I know exactly what's going on with him. Am I going to speak on it? Nope. I'm not. Just going to let it go. I kind of regret even doing the Kevin Samuels reading. I kind of regret that, and have been thinking about taking that video down because, again, people want to, if you don't understand psychic reading, don't click on the video, you know, because he has like a whole following of zombies that obviously can't think for themselves still. Okay, whatever. So, it can be difficult, it can be hard, and all I see is a bunch of people who have been trained by religion to be completely and totally annoying, which is why I want to disconnect for a little while. I have to disconnect, and I have been. I've been disconnecting is what I've been doing, just completely into because there's no psychic medium that actually wants to be a part of drama. It doesn't happen. I'm way too sensitive, very empathic. I don't want to hear that, uh, that that's just like if you're upset with me because I don't want to be your friend anymore. If I don't want to be your friend, it's not my problem that you're upset about that. Honestly, you need to go and have some self love for real. That's literally how I feel about that, because there are certain people that I can't associate with ever. The way that they behave, the type of energy that I really, unless you are a student or an apprentice, and I am teaching you how to regulate and, your spiritual gifts, and you're actually learning from me and you're listening to me and you're being respectful and you have respect for me to listen. I can't be around you. If you're somebody that is out of control, you do have spiritual gifts, but you're out of control with it. Any and everything can come into you. You just letting any old spirit come and talk to you. I can't be cool with you. I can't, because I think that all of us need to be selective about the spirits that we speak to, and then also confirm the actual spirit that we're speaking to. Sometimes when I'm doing these readings, and when I'm talking to my deities or something, I always make sure, like, let me know that this is actually you. I want to know this is actually you that I'm speaking with, because sometimes it can be something else. So, I can't, be around so-called seasoned psychic mediums that think they know everything, but they are completely out of control. I can't do it. I can't do it. Mm-mm. Okay. I think it was a crying shame the day that people actually, if anybody decided, oh, I gotta curse this person online without good reason, I think it's a shame. It's a shame, shame, shame. And I think it's a definite no go on that. Okay. But then again, I have different ethics than other people. It just is what it is. So right now, what I am focused on is, um because I work with a lot of spiritually gifted people, and then I also work with people that are not spiritually gifted. They are not witches, they are just people looking for spiritual work. I deal with both. Okay. And I don't have the time. There is not enough time in the day for me to deal with all of that. My family, having me time, the other stuff I got going on in my life, and then dealing with this. There's no way. If you are, I'm going to let you know if I feel, hey, you have real gifts, but you're out of control. You need to check yourself. If you feel that I'm younger than you, or you don't need to listen to me, or I ain't nobody, or I got less views than you, whatever, whatever. I don't have time for it, because I'm not here for those people. Okay. So I'll be on break for real. Because I honestly, really, to be honest with you, I don't care about the drama. I honestly don't. But that doesn't give you an open invitation to harass me. It doesn't. That's not what that gives you. It's no, I don't care. Yes, I will strike your channel. Move on with your life. That's what I will say. Okay. And with that being said, people need to really, like, I don't think people quite understand. I'm trying to think of something that I saw just recently. It was actually just recently that I saw something that remind me a lot of being a psychic medium, and what some psychic mediums go through, and the fact that that is something that needs to be in control. I can only think of that movie with Monique in it, called The Medium. That is a perfect example of somebody that did not have their spiritual gifts under control. If something is able to just possess you, hey sis, good morning, sissy. Hi. Hello, one EQ. Hi. Um, yeah. That was an example of that. And I can't wait till they come out with part two. Okay. Good morning, Ashley. You know what? It's not just the feeding, because we stopped all of that. And even though they still trying, you're right, Ashley. They do. They try to feed. But I think it's also because they go through a cycle. They go through a cycle. If they can't feed, then they attack. They start off by trying to feed. If they can't feed, they attack. They're either trying to suck the life out of you, or they are trying to harass you or just get on your nerve, or I guess they feel like they're going to ruin your life or something. It's totally ridiculous and childish. Okay. Seriously. And if you feel like somebody has either tried to ruin your life or did ruin your life, get some help with that, because nobody in this world should ever be able to ruin anybody's life. Don't like, I don't ever, when I do consultations for people, I'm like, if somebody says, "Oh my God, this person ruined my life," and I'm like, "Don't say that. Like, they ruined your life. Are you sure?" Or maybe they caused some hiccups or something, or maybe they did, you know. And here's another thing about the difference between spiritual and the mundane. A lot of the mundane things can be dealt with using spirit. It's all spirit. All of it is spirit. All of it is connected. If you have regular mundane problems, like, let me give you a kind of like an example. If you need a bill collector to slow down and give you more time on the bill, you know, you can do a freezer spell for that. Yeah. So the spiritual stuff helps you with the mundane. So if you're going through some mundane things, like for example, let's say that you have a lawsuit or some kind of something, like let's say that you're fighting with your sister over money in court. What's the first thing that people do? If you're fighting over money, people are going to do what? They're going to pray. That's the first thing people, that's the basic thing that people do, is they pray. What are they doing during that prayer? They could be hurting you. You might be fighting over your money. So you don't just have a court date scheduled, you also are dealing with bad spiritual energy sometimes. So yeah, if that is the case, that is how witchcraft and spirituality can help you, because everybody's doing it. There's nobody, like, honestly, there's that it is what it is. Okay. So, but I'm a witch and I believe that everyday problems that people have can be dealt with the craft. Yes, I do. If you want to go and do it another way, that's your choice. I know that for me, I'm not doing nothing without doing some kind of work on it. Not with love though. Like with love, you shouldn't have to do that. But it depends on the situation. But anything, if you have a court date coming up and you have doubt, you don't know, and do something. So I'm a firm believer in that. There is no way, because otherwise you're just leaving it wide open. And a lot of us witches, we feel that fate is what you make it, and can't nobody change your fate except for you. That's what a lot of us believe in. And if that's not your relationship with God or the God, then oh well, what is the point in arguing about it? If you don't agree, what's the point in arguing about it? I don't understand what the arguing is about. Right. It is. And you know what? It shouldn't have to be. It shouldn't have to be. It is absolutely ridiculous that Christians would be trying to put Bible curses on people and trying to ruin their life with the Bible. I don't advise for any Christian to do that, not even to a witch. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's and it's so silly. It really is, you know, and it's to the point where a lot of us witches are clearly much more peaceful, and I think that that's what everybody needs. Everybody may not want it, and some people may not even be aware that they need peace, but they need peace, you know. But I can imagine a person that is constantly at battle with themselves, their inner self, constantly, every day, all day, every day, constantly battling with themselves. I can imagine That is why they bring a lot of that discord into, so because it's a constant struggle within themselves for whatever reason, and I guess I think it might be a personality type. I'm not sure. And of course, what else to argue? Like, how do you bring arguments to the spiritual community to that capacity? Like, I can understand if there was a disagreement, because there's like it's all kind of beefs on TikTok right now, spiritual beefs. But at least those spiritual beefs seem to die down. It's kind of like more of a like a people like to see these, I guess, so-called witch wars or something. I don't want to be a part of that. I don't want to be a part of no witch war. And no, no. And I will say this, and I know a lot of people don't like it. And they'll get to lighting up black candles and spitting black dust at me and crap. I don't start spiritual wars, I finish them. That's how I feel about the situation. I'm sorry. And listen, I don't teach my students that. If somebody is trying to make you feel like you are weaker than them, why would you let them? Now, if you're somebody that started some crap and you're just a bully, then yeah, at some point you do need to get taken down. You do. But if if you're the on the other side and you're just like, well, my God, then don't ever let those people tell you, oh, we're going to get you. Because if you tell yourself that other people are stronger than you, then they are going to be. You are supposed to be stronger than them when it comes to self in your family. You're not supposed to be weaker than somebody else. You are not supposed to bend over to nobody else's will. If that makes me a devil worshiper, so be it. So be it. Okay. Seriously. Because I think it's ridiculous. I really do. How people feel the need, like, to make somebody bow down to them and all this stuff. It's like, well, first of all, who are you? Because I remember when my grandmother passed away, and I remember almost falling on top of her inside of her casket. You're not my grandmother. You're nobody to me. What do I need to bow down to you for? What are you talking about? Who are you? It makes no sense, does it? No, it doesn't. Why somebody needs that? Control freak, grandstander, delusions of grandeur. And that ain't, to me, that ain't even real spirituality. Okay. It'd be different if you was Nicki Minaj. Remember Nicki Minaj said, remember Nicki, exactly, hell Lilith, hell Lucifer. But remember when Nicki Minaj said all these bitches is my sons, like, we're like, she's a rapper. She's a rapper. Okay. This is real life with real people that have spirits and their own life. So I think people be getting themselves into trouble doing stuff like that. I really do. You get themselves into a lot of trouble. Seriously. So anyway, that's pretty much what I wanted to say. Being a medium is not easy by any means. It is not. You can go through all kinds of stuff. Sometimes these spirits do want to take over you. And for me, I can tell when it's happening. I can tell when somebody's trying to do that to me. And I don't like it. I'm sorry, guys. I gotta get a package off the porch. Where's that little fat cat at that always likes to run for the front door? There you are. Listen. Fatty cakes. Hmm. So yeah, it's a lot of craziness, and I want to say this, that as a psychic medium, uh, that is also a mother, and many other things. I don't like it. I don't, and I think that it needs to stop. But no one actually cares because we're women and we're talking about witchcraft. So it's like, well, who cares about them anyway? Well, you'd be surprised at who cares about us. You'd be surprised at who cares about us. You know, it's a shame when you are a witch or a medium and you just need some kind of support, love, or whatever, and you get some greedy, grandstanding person that wants to feel like they own everybody and they own spirituality. Like, I own this. And it's like, oh my God, please just, oh, sucks. And then they create their little minions that go around after them. And I listen, I don't have any minions, nor do I want minions that go around doing my bidding. And to this day, I have never had anybody, I think I've said it a few times, maybe years ago, to where I'll say, hey, y'all like black candles. I don't do that no more. I don't do that no more. You know? All right, y'all. I gotta go. I gotta get this ink cartridge installed and get some stuff out in the mail. So I will be seeing y'all later. We gotta do better. We do. Hopefully, after I take my break from social media, things will get better. If they don't, oh well. It don't have to be my problem. Yeah, beefing over beliefs. It's like, oh my God. And then, especially, I don't know, like, when it comes to being a witch in my relationship with myself as a witch, that seems like more of a man's playing field, doesn't it? Arguing about religion, arguing about beliefs. Ain't that a man's playing field or something? Isn't that what that is? Mm-hmm. I ain't trying to do it. All that hollering and screaming. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Choice words, snarky comments. No, thank you. No, thank you. I'm a woman, not a man. I'm a woman, and mm-mm. As a woman, and you know what? I'm not like one of them type of women that feels like women, but I do think that for me as a woman, for me, I want to carry myself a certain way, and I always have. All that yelling and screaming and trying to overpower anybody. Who are you to think that you have power over somebody else's life? Right? I mean, a lot of them want that. Like, and you know what? That's what we do in witchcraft. Sometimes we do have to assert some kind of something over people, but we all know what I'm saying, though. Oh, I want to prove this and prove that. Well, go prove that you're authentic and stop harassing people. You know. Yeah, I know. Yeah. But anyway, you guys, I'll see y'all later. Y'all have a good one. I just wanted to talk about that real quick and to say, man, give the mediums a break. And I know I'm giving myself a break. I'm giving myself a break. I am just, I don't see you. I don't care. They'll go out of their way. I'll be glad when that We Hate Jamila cult breaks up. I guess whenever their leader goes to jail or whatever. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, y'all. Y'all have a good one though. All right. Blessings to y'all. Bye bye now.